Hi and welcome everyone here on 2K Sports. Can't wait. On paper, this game looks one-sided, GA, but you never know in the NBA, do you? As they say, anything can happen.
Yeah, that means just so much talent in the league. If one or two guys get hot, this could end up being an upset. The difference between good teams and bad is razor thin.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. The post pairing, Johnson along with Porzingis. Filling the perimeter slots are Daniels and Rizachet. And it's Alexander Walker in at the one. And George, here we go. Yep, that one goes.
Aggressive slash from the young guard. George fears no one when attacking the basket.
Rizachet wide open. That three off the mark. And for Atlanta, they come in off a good outing against Sacramento.
Yeah, those road games are tricky, but they had a good strategy going in and stuck to what they do best.
They were so precise with their execution. They didn't make many mistakes on either end, and that took the crowd out of the game.
And so it's Atlanta with it, following the bucket by the Jazz. Porzingis, great positioning on the putback.
And that's what Porzingis has to do. Use his size and length on the offensive glass.
George looking around. Out to the right wing. Three-pointer, Markkanen sinks the three-pointer.
How about the shooting stroke from Markkanen, appearing very comfortable pulling the trigger from deep.
And joining us now by phone is insider Shams Charania with some news. Shams, give it to us.
Well, the Jazz have traded away a lot of their veterans. All-star Lauri Markkanen still remains. After a down shooting season a year ago, perhaps he needs to build his value back up around the league before they would consider moving him.
He can heat up in a hurry, that's for sure. We appreciate the update. Thanks, Shams. Markkanen can't get it to go. Atlanta's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Count the basket.
Well, Rizachet has decent size, and he uses it well that time to put points on the board.
Now, here is George. Defended by Alexander Walker. Markkanen from outside. Markkanen missing again. For Atlanta, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. The shot's good from Alexander Walker.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Here's Hendricks. Markkanen finds George. Shoots over Alexander Walker. And it's George missing. Hawks have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Here's Alexander Walker.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, he took that up with great confidence. Tremendous finish.
George passes to Nurkic. Porzingis with the block.
And just fast off the floor to challenge shots. Porzingis, this helps him get a lot of blocks like that one. Total letdown by the D. Can't leave the bucket unprotected.
Absolutely. But it takes an easy 2 points onto the lead.
And now this offense feels like they can just do whatever they want.
And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
I briefly spoke with Utah's head coach. We talked about how Kristaps Porzingis can warp a defense with his shooting. He said, quote, when they post him outside and go 5 out, it stretches a team. We'll need to adjust by closing out and rotating faster than we're used to. Hopefully that helps us against what they're trying to do. Back over to you.
And Allie, thanks so much. And the dunk by Porzingis.
He's a really big man. Kristaps has insane handles for someone who is 7'3". Normally it's hard for players that tall to keep the ball on the bounce.
A 3-ball sinks the triple.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
The Hawks leading. Here's Rizachet. Outside Daniel. The wide open look here for Porzingis. The shot's good on the assist by Daniel. Porzingis has got 9 points.
He has come out with a scorer's mentality. 4 of 5 to start. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Nurkic setting the pick for Markkanen. Atlanta with the rebound. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
And just couldn't make the most of their meetings last year. Ended up splitting the season series. Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Here's Mikhailuk. And the three off target. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
And George gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Kyle Filipowski's checked in for Utah. Collier comes in for Mikhailuk. Then for the Hawks, Okongwu comes in for Dyson Daniels. And Wallace subbed in for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Now, here's Johnson. Still yet to score. And the shot goes in from Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Yeah, they've just been the better team. They've been more aggressive, which is why they hold a double-digit lead.
So both teams changing it up here. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. The Hawks leading by 7. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Kennard on the wing. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. Clock at 4. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. Newell can't get it to go. And so it's Atlanta heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And for the Hawks, guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Had a feeling this was going to be their strategy coming in. They've got a major size advantage to be able to execute this.
So with Johnson on the bench, here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. They've got Kennard, Newell out there with Okongwu. Then there's Wallace, and it's Krejci in at the small forward. And GA, the Hawks going young, trying to build a sustainable model for success.
Yeah, most of the starters not yet scratching their prime, so there's going to be some growing pains, but they're showing plenty of promise.
And Utah making a change here. Love's checked in. Sends the ball no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Here's Wallace. Love grabs the board. Jazz trail by 10. Love with the screen on Okongwu. And it's Collier missing. And here's Wallace. He'll bring it up for the Hawks. Now, here's Kennard. He's covered closely. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Collier, that's good.
Yeah, he's found some room there along the baseline. Some space at the rim, goes right up and puts it in without resistance.
Pass to Newell. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. Now, Filipowski. Here's Sensabaugh. And good. That's a friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
Oof, that is a tough shot.
And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. Tim, at one point, your dream was to play professional baseball. Why did you switch?
Kevin, it really came down to this. Hit a growth spurt when I was 14 years old, and I decided to go try this basketball thing that first year in high school. As it turns out, what I fell in love with, I didn't need anybody else to get better. I had an insatiable work ethic. It lent itself to hours and hours on the basketball court by myself.
That is such an interesting perspective.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Three-pointer, Daniels. The rebound by the Jazz. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Yeah, in that game, the offense was firing on all cylinders, partly because the other team's defense was a no-show.
Yeah, they didn't play down to the level of their opponent. That's not an easy thing to pull off, but they certainly were focused in this one.
And the Hawks with possession here after the three-pointer from Lauri Markkanen. Johnson, a wide-open look, trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Markkanen. Sweet little floater. Now just a 5-point Hawks lead.
Hey, look, you got to keep Markkanen out of the paint. He's just too big on that block and imposes his will.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Lauri Markkanen is a 7-footer with touch, but he can also attack off the dribble. Referencing comparisons to Dirk Nowitzki, he said, quote, when someone hits a fadeaway jumper, they say, that's the Dirk. Maybe someday I'll get the drag step to be called the Lauri. Kevin?
Ooh, that's a sweet move, too. All right, Allie, thank you for the report. Alexander Walker with the ball. 6 points for him. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Johnson's got 5 points now this quarter.
So that shows a lot of confidence right there. Johnson knowing how effective he can be off the catch.
A different look for Utah. Yusuf Nurkic. He's checked in for Filipowski. And George is subbed in for Collier. Porzingis, he's checked in for Atlanta. Zachary Rizachet comes in for Luke Kennard. Here's Rizachet after the basket by Utah. Three-pointer, Daniels. And the Hawks with another three.
Yeah, he's getting bolder and bolder on the perimeter. Daniels will now go for it if he has a shot available.
Pass to Hendricks. Screen by Nurkic. Hendricks passes to Nurkic. An easy 2 points on the layup.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Now here's Porzingis. And the call will be against Yusuf Nurkic. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Johnson finds Rizachet. Porzingis with a screen on George. 6 to shoot. Here's Alexander Walker. And a miss there on the triple.
Well, the defense should consider themselves lucky there because he's not usually one to miss those kinds of looks.
Here's Mikhailuk. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Hawks leading by 7. Rizachet in the corner. A three-pointer, no good. Utah has gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. And they double up Markkanen. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Hendricks passes to George. Markkanen in the corner. Over Porzingis. The Jazz again can't hit it. Atlanta's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. A shot by Alexander Walker, no good. Pass to Mikhailuk. And here's George for 3. Rebound by Alexander Walker. Stolen by George. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. It's stolen by Johnson. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the...